I feel like they always on purpose put you in a spot where you have to call out on super difficult lanes. Like my first lane that I had to work was a postal lane from um God, I think it was Atlanta, Georgia, to Flushing, New York. And it was like, I don't even know, so cheap because it was postal freight. It was contracted lanes. Like they're like, you need to find a dedicated carrier that will run that in and out, in and out. And then they're like, of course, the carriers are like, "Are you going to pay for my tolls?" I'm like, "No, you just have to incorporate that with you." I mean, like, I had no idea what I was doing.
Dedicated freight is great though, because that's set it and forget it as long as you find the right carrier that'll haul that freight. I think I've always most of my career has been starting with the really tough stuff and trying to figure it out. Like I spent a few years operating battery freight. Like I was assigned to Exide and Interstate Battery when I was living in San Diego, and I my job ended up being to cover that freight, and that freight goes everywhere. It was going in the city of Industry, California, in Yuma, Arizona, El Paso, Laredo, uh, going into Muncie, Indiana, Salina, Kansas, Manchester, Iowa. It was all over the country, and so I learned how to book freight all over the country, and I had to book with these I was mostly Chicago shade, honestly, except they would never take loads to Laredo or El Paso. And I also ended up developing relationships with those warehouses in Laredo and El Paso and in City of Industry in Yuma. And I ended up working with those people much, later. Like they're still friends of mine that I still talk to on a regular basis. And so I always started with like the really tough stuff. With Mexico Freight, it was automotive to start and also tequila that required security escorts for it was a very popular brand at the time. It's no longer as popular anymore because the person who started that brand is in prison right now, but he's a rapper. But um but yeah, it's you always have to start with the tough stuff. And my belief is that if you cut your teeth on the really difficult freight, like moving Mexico freight, moving automotive freight from Mexico, if you can nail automotive just in time or just in sequence freight, anything else moving cross border is easier than that.